Thank you, listeners, for joining us. Elko Live today here on KELK features an update. And it's been a while from Jill Tingey from the University of Nevada, Reno's Cooperative Extension right here in Elko. And we have so many cool things to catch up on with you, Jill. And thanks for being in for today's regular county update.
Well, it's nice to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely. We know that Extension had a busy summer, helping folks with gardening, a lot of various workshops and activities. And we want to kind of recap 4-H because that was also a huge success, right, for some of those students.
Yeah, it's been, we've had a really busy summer and had a lot of successes in a variety of ways. So it's wonderful to kind of swing back and get started with 4-H and our clubs and all the things that we do in the fall.
So beginning with that, I guess there is a 4-H coordinator position available. We should really encourage folks that way.
We really need to fill that position. That is our position that works closely with our 4-H volunteers and our youth throughout the county in providing all kinds of programs. And so we're looking for someone who likes to work with young people as well as volunteers and just has a heart for helping young people gain lots of great skills that they can use throughout their lives.
And we do know that October marks the start of a new 4-H year, right, Jill?
It does, yeah. Our National 4-H Week is actually the first full week in October, and which would be October 1st through the 7th. And so we're excited to celebrate 4-H. We've been around for 122 years, I think it is.
An enduring tradition, not only in Elko County, but certainly nationwide.
That's right.
We do know 4-H is an important local tradition, and that's why you've been able to rely on having local leaders and people to conduct these clubs.
Right. Our volunteers are the heart of our 4-H program, and without them, we couldn't offer 4-H. And so we're definitely grateful for the ones that we have that continue to lead clubs or lead projects throughout the county, and we're looking for new ones. We're kind of low in Spring Creek especially. We usually have several clubs there and we only have one. And so I actually we just fingerprinted someone just before I came into the office today. And hopefully we'll get one more club started there. But we could use several more leaders and clubs getting started, even in Spring Creek, and of course throughout the county, which is exciting. We have a lot of new clubs actually starting. We have a new beekeeping club that will start. They will actually meet in our office on one Friday a month, and anybody who's interested in pollinators, bees, or entomology, the study of insects, they are certainly welcome to join this new group and see what they get to do and learn and focus on how we can, help the environment around us.
Right. But bees are an important part of the ecology and environment, and you don't have to be really that vastly experienced or skilled, Jill, because a lot of volunteers are learning alongside the students.
Absolutely. That's the beauty of 4-H, is that you don't have to come in being the expert. The great thing in 4-H is we have a lot of curriculum or 4-H manuals in the office, and we have this national network of how we get resources so that people have the educational, kind of that research base on, how would I lead beekeeping, or how would I lead, it could be mental health. We actually have mental health curriculum that leaders can lead activities like mindfulness and being present and, being healthy and active. So we have lots of, you name it, from beef to
bees.
Beef to bees to entomology to clothing and fiber and foods, small gas engines, hiking. Yeah, we've got it all in the office, and they're really helpful. When they're usually the curriculum comes in units. So how would I teach this particular thing to a 9 or a 10-year-old versus the level 2 that might be for our kids who are 11 to 13, and then looking at our teens, and then there's a guide for the leaders so that they have an idea of how they might try to do some activities with the kids. But by the time our teens have been in the club a couple years, they can pick that information up and teach it to younger ones as well. So know that you don't have to be an expert. You just have to love kids, and we can train the rest of it.
Sounds like it could be an opportunity too for homeschooling families, Jill.
Absolutely. We have many homeschooling families in 4-H, and we would just encourage more because it really can augment or enhance what they're already doing at home. At the bottom of our list, Lori, I wrote our 4-H Clover program. It is a curriculum or a program that's available on our website at 4h.org/Clover. And this is a way for young people to find their spark or their interest and passion. And there's all kinds of activities that they can do online. So there's STEM activities. There's one that's actually developing a video game where kids will learn how they can, it's a spy type video game that they're doing online. So the information, I used a video game, and that probably scares a lot of people to think they'd be connecting with others online, and that's not how it is. But it's just the curriculum and teaching the kids how to do it is online, but they wouldn't have to interact with people they don't know online. But so much of the other activities that we do through this 4-H Clover are things that the kids can do independently on their own that they might have a particular interest in. Or it might be that, somebody just Googles it and wants to do something with a group of young people or with their own family. And really, just like I mentioned before, the project areas are vast. There's a lot of really fun STEM activities, science, technology, engineering, and math do. There's art projects. You name it. There are all kinds of activities on that they've really, National 4-H Council has put a lot of money into trying to get to kids any way they can in providing them good information and ways to build skills.
Absolutely. And again, it's usually at no cost, as you've mentioned, several times. These are resources available, and very little investment, if any. If you're doing something as a group, I'm sure that 4-H, the extension, can support them too.
That's right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it just occurred to me that with the 4-day school week, it does seem like an opportunity for parents and for caregivers and students themselves to find something else to do on that 5th day.
Yeah. So we're really trying to offer some more things out of the office, just because the office is fairly central for kids who might live in town. For some, it's within walking distance from Northside and Grammar number 2, because our office is located at 701 Walnut Street. And so yes, on one Friday a month we offer an art club, and so the next time they do an activity will be, I think, October 20th, and they're going to do a spooky activity focused on Halloween. And then they're planning they'll skip November, and then they'll be doing a big activity to get ready for the holidays. So the leader is just fantastic and has great things. And what's really neat is a couple of different people have donated their art supplies to Extension, and so we have some really nice art supplies too. So we'd always look for, someone who wanted to teach fine arts. We have some supplies to get started if someone wanted to actually be a fine arts leader as well.
Oh, that's great. Sounds like a perfect collaboration for any number of local artists and those who are involved with the Elko County Art Club, for example.
Right.
Yeah, and they have their beautiful gallery, because there's nothing like inspiring a young person, right, Jill?
It's so true.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we didn't want to skip over, because there's so many cool things coming up this fall, but the ongoing popularity of the Shooting Sports Club.
Yeah, that's our largest 4-H program, project area. We have about 100 kids typically in that. And so this new club will mainly focus on the kids who only want to carry shooting sports as their project. So a lot of our community clubs have kids who do beef, and then somebody else might do STEM, or someone else might do fashion review, someone else might do cooking. And so you have a variety, and what's really neat is in that club setting, they're focusing on what can we do as a group for community service, or what can we do as a fundraiser, and they're focused on their club. But then, sometimes there's those announcements about getting ready for this show or something, and those poor shooting sports kids are like, I don't even care about this because this isn't my project. And so the leaders who are starting our Battleborn Bullseye 4-H club, they've recognized that, we really needed a club for just the kids who really want to focus on shooting sports. And so they will be they'll have monthly meetings, but the information shared at the meetings and the activities will really just focus on shooting sports. And then they'll continue to participate in our countywide shooting sports program with our safety classes, and then our practices that we do out at the range.
And that's so significant, Jill, because 100 young people who are involved in this shooting sports club, that means 100 students who can spread the message of, safe and responsible shooting sports, a love of the sport. It really encourages at a lot of different levels.
Oh yeah, to watch the camaraderie and the sportsmanship, at our county competition, and then 2 weeks ago we were in Fallon for our state 4-H expo, and they're all cheering each other on, and Elko County is pretty competitive. We came home with quite a few medals this year too from shooting sports. So there are wonderful skills learned in that, but certainly self-discipline probably, I would say, is probably the number one skill that kids come away with.
We do know, we've been talking about 4-H. 4-H does encompass a wide variety of ages, right, Jill? We might want to mention that.
It does, yeah. So our official 4-H ages are 9 to 19. And so what that means is if kids want to raise an animal, or if kids want to do shooting sports, or compete in any kind of way, they must be 9, because we know that kids younger than that aren't quite ready for competition or for the discipline that it takes to take care of an animal, 24/7 and, throughout the year. And so we also have 5 to 8-year-olds who are also invited to join 4-H, and we call them Clover Buds. And our Clover Buds really focus on fun things and learning kind of a variety of topics. So they don't raise a rabbit, or they don't hold on to a project for the entire year, just because they're focused on learning a variety of things and getting along with the others who are their age. And so some of our clubs have a Clover Bud program where the Clover Buds will come a half an hour to an hour earlier than the regular club meeting, and they will do something fun. I love in our 4-H club that my son is in, the Clover Buds get called up in the middle of the meeting, and they bring whatever they have made or they did, or if they made a snack for the club or whatever it might be, and they hold it up, and they each say their name and tell about their project really quickly. And it's just a fun way to involve them and to, see them participate with us. So,
and it's not just tagging along like with brother or sister.
Right.
I mean, the 4-H organization teaches the structure and leadership and camaraderie, and that you're supporting one another.
Yeah, and so typically we have our older teens help with the Clover Buds. We might have a leader who kind of organizes and pulls all the supplies together, but then usually our older teens are right there to help out, and it's fun to watch the love that they have for the younger members too.
Oh, it sounds like a perfectly family-friendly, ready-to-go organization for anybody, whether you're generations deep into Elko County or you're new to the area.
Right, yeah. Like a couple of the leaders that we've just fingerprinted recently are new to the area, and they want to get involved in the community. And 4-H is an excellent way to do that. You'll definitely have the opportunity to meet people and really connect with the community.
We're so lucky to have your enthusiasm and passion and expertise in this program, Jill.
Thank you.
Thank you, absolutely. So we're going to talk more about some of these special activities. In the meantime, if someone wants to go visit a 4-H website, you can do that because it is a national organization.
That's right. You can always go to 4h.org, and that is the national organization, or you can go to unr.edu/extension, and then if you hit about or programs, you'll find 4-H Youth Development, and you can find it by our county, or you can just put also /Elko County and find our county website.
Jill Tingey is our guest today, and of course she is our local education specialist and coordinator, and pulling together all these wonderful programs for us, Jill. And we wanted to mention that, well, everybody's talking about it now, the annular solar eclipse, which is coming up.
Yeah, we're really excited. So 4-H has teamed up with NASA, and we're in our Ruby Valley 4-H club is actually going to host a watch party, and we're excited. We've got some materials from NASA that actually the leader had emailed me, and they're going to be doing some programs in the school up in Ruby Valley on Thursday before the eclipse, and then they'll have a watch party, and so they're excited. And our state 4-H office got 5,000 glasses, and so I asked for 500 of those. And if I started getting calls, I'd call and ask for them to email or mail me more. But we will have glasses for if anyone's serious about it, come by the office. We'd rather have you have glasses than not if you're going to watch the eclipse.
Certainly. So is that 4-H Watch Party in Ruby Valley, is that going to be for that community, or can other people attend, or what do you know?
I asked the leader, and I didn't get a reply quite yet, but I would think that it would be okay to go
good.
up there.
Yeah, there are going to be some spectacular viewing areas from right here, across rural Nevada. And so count 4-H Watch Party in Ruby Valley is a number of any number of those locations.
Yeah, you definitely will have that dark sky.
Yeah, definitely. No light pollution in Ruby Valley.
That's
for
right.
sure. Well, I guess it's daylight, but still, it'll be amazing. It'll be amazing. So, yes, and among the various topics that we sort of introduced coming into the program is that the Extension office is busy year-round, and a lot of things that I noticed you were able to facilitate this summer, Jill, were some summer camps and youth opportunities, and especially for our Native American students, and to really encourage and just to get students together from various parts of the state, right?
Right. Yeah, we sent a number of kids to Lake Tahoe to our state 4-H camp, so that was really exciting. I think they all got a lot out of it, and it's always fun to hear their stories when they come back and being enthused about being at the lake and then learning more about 4-H too. And then it's kind of exciting. Our state 4-H office, I shouldn't say we because I wasn't a huge part of that, but we've been awarded a grant to offer day camps in a lot of rural counties, including Elko County. So in the spring, we'll be hiring for some AmeriCorps type positions so that we can hire, part-time people to run some day camps for us. So we're excited about that because we haven't really done anything like that in Elko County 4-H before.
That is a neat opportunity. We've been talking with partners with Nevada Department of Wildlife, and I know they've used AmeriCorps, and AmeriCorps done some projects over in Wells. There's always something for an AmeriCorps worker to do.
Absolutely.
So find out more at their website, and you just might find yourself working, locally or somewhere in Nevada. Yeah. So very cool. And then also, I guess as that date draws near, we can talk more about getting involved in the day summer camps.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And this is a big night for 4-H. After the fair and people had a chance to catch their breath and getting back to school, you get to celebrate, right?
Yeah, we celebrate those who have been friends of 4-H and have supported 4-H in a variety of ways, our volunteers, and of course our young people. And so it's our opportunity. We're so excited to get back to the GBC Theater. We always used to hold it there at the theater, and then of course we had the pandemic, and so we have been in a couple of different locations since then, and so we're so grateful for our partnership that we have with Great Basin College and that we'll be able to use the theater for that one evening, and it always makes it a special night.
So what can we look forward to? Some of the details, I guess, because the community's invited, right, Jill?
Absolutely. The community is invited. Our event is, our 4-H Achievement Night is November 9th, which is Thursday night, and it's at 6 p.m. in the theater. And you just come and you'll, see who's awarded different things. We offer a scholarship, $1,000 scholarship each year. And so we announce those winners. We announce, if an outstanding 4-H member, like I mentioned, businesses and others who've really given a lot to 4-H. We try to recognize them as the friend of 4-H. Our new county ambassadors, those are a group of young people who've gone through a selection process, an interview process to be selected as an ambassador, so they are installed at that event. And then they carry out a lot of the programs throughout the rest of the year. So a really wonderful leadership opportunity, and that's a nice way to thank the outgoing ambassadors and welcome the new ambassadors.
Oh, thanks. Definitely mark November 9th, 6 p.m., Great Basin College Theater on your calendar as celebrating 4-H and all of the supporters and family and friends for Achievement Night, Jill. That's right. Super cool. So I wanted to make sure we covered those topics before we shift gears a little bit, right?
Right, yeah.
So we're getting into our next topic?
We are. Our next topic is called the Domestic Violence High Risk Team. And this is really exciting. This is kind of uncharted territory for Extension. Oftentimes we think of the traditional programs that we offer in Extension, like 4-H, like I just mentioned, but we also recognize that domestic violence is a huge issue in our community. And an extension feels that we should address that in some way. And so in doing some research and trying to understand the problem and understanding what's working in other parts of the country, we were able to partner with an organization in Massachusetts who's provided us like some technical assistance and training for us to start a domestic violence high-risk team here. So here in Elko County, we have a couple of different multidisciplinary teams. I'm familiar with the Children's Advocacy Center as one example of that. But this is also a multidisciplinary team. So it's bringing our law enforcement agencies, so our Sheriff's Department, as well as the police departments from Carlin, West Wendover, and the city of Elko, and our advocates. We're also work with our prosecutors, with the district attorney's office, and the Committee Against Domestic Violence Advocates, and also probation and parole. So we are pulling from a whole variety of groups, and then there's a couple of groups that we also hopefully will be able to pull in this next year as we start to really dive in. So yesterday we had a 4-hour training where we were ready to get started and begin to review our high-risk cases. So the purpose of this team is that when law enforcement or advocates encounter a victim, typically in a domestic violence call for law enforcement, and they conduct an 11-question assessment or questionnaire that they would ask the victim different questions. And if that score is a 7 or higher, that means that victim is at high risk of being a homicide. And so we want to do all we can to prevent those homicides in our county, because we are aware that we have struggled with that for a long, long time. And we want to try to see what we can do to kind of affect that and make a change in that way. And so in what the team will do is they will review those cases and determine, okay, did we make sure that our Committee Against Domestic Violence advocates have reached out to this person and provided any kind of support that we can, whether it's a temporary protective order or, was it housing, was it linking them with other community resources for employment, for clothing, childcare assistance, all those kinds of things prevent if a person doesn't have things in place that has good supports, they're more likely to return to their abuser because they need to survive. And that's how sometimes they see it as a way to survive. And so our hope is that we're also understanding if they do go back, but hopefully we can provide some of those resources so that they won't go back. And so this team provides that and meets about what can we do better or what can we do for that person. And then also tracking where this is in the process. Did this get shifted over to the DA's office? And then Tanya Yell with the DA's office will say, yes, this is where it is in the process. And, so we can be tracking it and seeing that. And is that offender being brought to justice as well? So that's a big piece of it too. And then always being in communication with that victim to make sure that they know where that offender is in the process, if they're going to be released, and the whole goal in keeping them safe and keeping them from being harmed.
And protecting the whole family.
That is right.
And the community, because
That's
we're
right.
strengthening, breaking the cycle of domestic violence.
Yeah. That's our ultimate goal.
Definitely. So all of this is working hard in concert with, as you mentioned, the several different agencies. And is it already in place? Or, hopefully, okay.
So we're in place. We've, kind of got that final training that we needed to really meet officially. And so our next meeting will be in November. And we'll at that November meeting, we will be reviewing cases and following up on all of those things. So,
wow, that's an incredible opportunity for our community.
Yeah.
And it's probably fair to say, and Jill, that, your effort and your agency and all your collaboration really led to this, because that's something that Extension does so well, is that you do deep dives into what community needs are. Sometimes it can take a while for that assessment, right?
Right,
Yes.
right. And what's really exciting about this is we're the first county in the entire state to do something like this. I mean, there's kind of something in Clark County, but we all know how large Clark County is. And so, of course, it can't be countywide just because they're so large. But I think it'll be great because I think other counties will be able to follow us in being able to implement something like this.
That's fantastic news. And it does come along the heels of the Heart and Hope program, which is carrying people beyond this.
That's right. So our hope is that eventually those who might have experienced the domestic violence high-risk team eventually would be able to participate in our Heart and Hope, our family intervention domestic violence intervention program. And so we're looking forward to that. We'll be starting a session in probably January, February. And so if anyone wants to refer themselves or someone they know or know more about the program, but it's a 9-week program. We meet for 2 hours each week, and it's for our survivor parent and their children. So we don't have the offender attend those, but we do have the survivor parent and the kids. And it's wonderful. Everyone learns different skills that are focused on social emotional skills as well as parenting skills for the parents, and with the goal that they strengthen their families and, again, break that cycle of domestic violence. So we have been working really hard in the last year and a half to write curriculum for especially our youth and our teens. And we'll be kind of making some adjustments with our parent piece too, and then kind of having something more written for our early childhood, our kids who are birth to 8 who come to our program. So.
And that's important, reaching back in, because, again, this type of cycle often persists for generations, Jill.
It can, unfortunately. And yet there's so much hope with it, because when young people have some kind of intervention, even if it's just the next door neighbor who cares so much and is willing to talk with that young person and listen, that can make all the difference, and that person doesn't repeat what they have been exposed and witnessed in their young lives.
So lots of hope. So that is what Heart and Hope means. Now, if someone listening does want to maybe access this program, Jill, or find out more, what's the best way? The
best way would be to go ahead and call Julie Woodbury. She is our program coordinator, and Julie's number is 775-340 3069, I think. But you know what? It's just better if you just go to our website too, because now we've updated that piece of the website. It's really exciting. People can go in and say, I want more information, in a little form that they would fill out when they click on a link, and it will just go to a form. And it also will have Julie's number there. I apologize for not
She's fantastic.
being sure that I have that.
Well, we all just click on our phones anymore.
That's right. So if they go to unr.edu/extension Heart Hope, if they just Google that, they will find the Heart and Hope program that way.
Perfect, Jill. Well, the last topic that we have on our list, again, it's been a busy summer, and now it's going to be a busy fall. Something called Launch Rural Nevada.
Yeah, so this is not my baby. This is another thing that I just collaborate on, and I really don't do very much for the committee at all. But this is really exciting. This is when we look at economic development and how are we building our community. And so this is a collaborative group that is statewide, but really focused on rural Nevada and launching new businesses in rural Nevada. So George Clubb with the Great Basin College, and Sheldon Mudd with the Northeastern Nevada
Regional Development
Authority.
And RDA.
Yes, and many, many others. Who are with Governor's Office of Economic Development. So kind of you name it, we've got a lot of different people from different organizations and agencies that work on this project. And so what it is, it's to help either adults or young people who have a business idea and they'd like to be an entrepreneur, to provide them support. So they have meetings weekly where they call them office hours, where they can jump on and speak with with an expert who knows about starting a business and get some ideas, and then they'll also work with them in preparing their presentation or their pitch. So Pitch Day is on November 3rd at Great Basin College. What's really neat about it, it's just like Shark Tank. If you've ever watched Shark Tank on TV, and we actually have angel investors and people who are interested in investing in the business. So you do your pitch, and actually it's a competition. So whoever does the best gets, and they had thousands of dollars in award money last year, and they're hoping to also have that same, similar amounts of money to offer to help people get that new business that they've had, that idea, to make it possible. And it's just really exciting that people who know a lot more than I do are working on this, and they just have such a passion in working with people. And so really the business opportunities, we've had people from all over the state participate as well, but it's really focused on rural. But if you were from, I guess, an urban center, I don't think they would send you away either. But we had high school students and middle school students as well participate and do their pitch. And that's my favorite, of course, because I love young people, but it was really neat to watch and see what they had put together.
Because they really do know how to reinvent the wheel, Jill. Yes, they do. And it's a good thing. So Launch Rural Nevada Day, Pitch Day is November 3rd. It'll be at Great Basin College campus. But we're especially interested, too, in helping promote, like you said, the adults and teens, the 8th through 12th grades.
Yes. And so really, it's if you have a business idea, and you need some money to be able to get that launched, that's the whole purpose of this event. And so registration deadline for that is October 13th. So you do have to kind of think ahead, and then they'll be working with you at any time. You can start working with them now, but definitely you have to have some contact with them. It's not just to show up and not be prepared. And then their phone number, if you want more information, is 738-2100, and to find more just on their website, it's launchRuralNevada.com. So it's exciting to see our community coming together and really celebrating businesses and entrepreneurs.
Well, and no surprise that you're involved, even sitting on that panel and as a board member, because of all that 4-H does to support youth and ingenuity and to spark that enthusiasm for the future. Anything we can do to engage the community.
That's right.
That's
Jill?
right.
Yeah.
Well, I hope we got to all of your topics today.
We did. Thank you.
Well, thank you as always. We learned so much as we have our conversations with you, Jill. We appreciate what you do for us here in Elko through Extension, and we just look forward to our next visit.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, listeners, for joining us today here on Elko Live on KELK.